these joint practices with the Eagles, what do you hope to get accomplished against such a good defense?
It's always great to be able to compete against other teams other than ourselves, so, I'm more excited just going out there, making plays, and execute our play, and do what we're supposed to do.
How do you think the offense has grown? Obviously, we've seen Joe really lead in that starting unit, but how do you think the whole offense has grown from birthday it came to now?
I think we've grown a lot, a lot. People are a lot more confident within the playbook, so once you know the playbook down, it's all about, executing it, and I feel like everybody's been doing a great job with that.
And how was this offense different from last year, you would say?
Ain't not too much different, Coach just added a little his tweets in there. Nothing changed for real.
I know in the spring when we asked you about that Amari quote with him saying that when Joe throws the ball, it's like poetry in motion. You agreed really quickly. I guess how have you grown even more to like the way he throws the ball and that chemistry that you guys have?
Just having the consistency throughout camp and mini camp to be able to work with him, just understanding each other a lot better, knowing where he want me to be at in certain times and knowing how he like throwing certain football. So, it been going well.
How's your connection with Joe improved just over the last couple of weeks as you've gotten a lot more consistent reps with him?
Yeah, it's been growing. We've been coming out here working each and every day. The reps will matter. We've been having consistent reps, and, just taking advantage of that.
There seem to be a lot of completions today and touchdowns in these drills. Do you think for quarterback competition, you guys have overcome it and growing as a unit?
Yeah, I think, as the unit, as a receiver group, we can't really too much focus on the quarterback competition, but just focus on our job, our execution, and making the job easier for whichever quarterbacks in the backfield. So, we just do what we're supposed to do, and that's get open.
Hey, Jerry, what are those one-on-one battles with Denzel like? And then it looked like you got him in the end zone right on that hour. So what's it like going against him?
Denzel, the top corner in the league, so it's always fun to go against him. He makes me better, I make him better. That's all you can ask for. Coming out here and practice each and every day against each other just to make sure the Sundays are easier because there ain't nobody going to be like Denzel on Sundays. So,
Hey, Jerry, a lot of prognosticators think the Browns are not going to be very good this year. The over-under is 5.5 games. What makes you think they're going to be better than that?
I know the group of guys we got on this team, and I know the coaching staff been doing a great job and just making sure everybody in the right position to make plays, and I just feel like that's all we could think of. I know the group of guys we got, and we can't really focus on what too much the people that's not in the building think, so ain't really too much worried about that.
Jerry, can you talk about what did you think of Shador's performance the other night, and how have you seen him come along right out of this game?
No, Shador, he did a great job the other night, saying completion, moving the ball down the field, scoring touchdowns, that's all you can ask for a quarterback. He constantly growing each and every day, learning the offense, learning the scheme, and I'm excited for him. He got a bright future ahead of him.
As someone who worked a lot with Luke, how disappointing is it to see him have this hamstring injury kind of set him back?
Yeah, that sucks, man. Luke been out here grinding and doing his thing ever since he stepped foot out here. So, it's kind of frustrating, him dealing with that. But, Luke's a baller, so he's going to attack this workout, make sure he come back healthy and do his thing.
Jerry, have you played catch with Shador very much at all? And are you looking forward to maybe getting some reps with him at some point? And if so, he talks about throwing like a really nice catchable ball the way that Joe does too. Have you caught passes from him, and is it super catchable?
Yeah, we throw the ball a little bit around for a little bit. He got a great arm. I could see it out there, even with catching with him. Throwing it to other guys. He's a baller. He definitely got one of the top arms for sure.
Jerry, how have you seen just Deontay get more and more comfortable since he's been here? Obviously, trying to sort of have a bounce back season after how last year went forward. But how has he kind of just grown since he's been here?
He grown a lot. Understanding the playbook. Just having consistency out here with the guys. And just getting more comfortable in learning the scheme of things. So, he's been doing a great job of that, and he constantly work towards that to be better than he was the day before. So, that's all he could ask for, all he could do.
Jerry, how important do you think it is for you guys to kind of maybe even after this Philly trip know who your starting quarterback is so you can really rep it and get ready for that season?
I'm really ain't focused too much on that. You know, we just focus on this Philly trip right now. You know, then we'll let the coaches make the decision after that, and you know, we just go on from there.
When you have guys like Luke and Gage, like, how do you help them make this transition to NFL?
Those guys, you know, those guys are very talented, very smart guys that know how to get open, know what the offense and what the coaches want in the scheme. You know, so don't really need to learn too much because they already know what they need to know. I just whatever they ask me, what they need help on, I just relay the message and hopefully they get it from there.
Jerry, what areas have you seen Dylan and Jeudy during camp?
Just understanding the playbook, you know, knowing all the moving parts, motion, shifts, and knowing where to go with the ball, you know. So that's all the quarterback can do for real.
Jerry, at training camp saying is that the defense usually starts ahead of the offense. When that happens, when the defense gets an early jump on an offense during a training camp, why is that? Why is offense taking
Say that
longer
again?
to gel?
Say that again?
The old saying is that the defense is usually ahead of the offense at the start of the training camp.
Yeah.
Why does offense take a little longer to gel in that way?
I feel like offense, you know, you got a lot more pieces that you got to connect for real. You know, when it comes to the line, the receivers, the motion. You know, I think our play calling is just a lot more. I think that's why.
How do you know when it's starting to gel?
You can just tell how we move the ball, completions, not really a lot of mental assignments. I think that's the only way you can tell for real.
Jerry, I know you said you're not thinking about it like very much on your own or as a group, but has Kevin indicated to you guys when he wants to have a decision made about the position?
You said what? Did what?
Has Kevin indicated to you guys when he wants to have a decision made about who's going to start?
Not yet. Not yet.
Jerry, those two.
We're gonna take two more.
Those two touchdown passes by Shedeur. I'm sure you got a chance to watch the film or at least see highlights or whatever over a few times. What did you just think about the just accuracy and the touch on those passes?
Like I said, Shedeur got a great arm. You know, very accurate. He threw two great accurate balls. You know, and the last one was he went through all his progression. It was the last read, and for him as a young quarterback be able to make those reads, make that progression, you know, kudos to him, you know. Like I said, he's a great quarterback, you know, I'm excited for his future.
Jerry, just thinking about your last year in first Pro Bowl, first 1,000-yard season, as we get closer to actual games here, and what are you thinking about in terms of your personal goals to top what you did last year, and do you think about those more as we get closer to the season, just your thought process?
No, I just want to be a better player than I was last year, whether that's one more yard, one more catch, one more touchdown, just be better than I was last year, you know. And I ain't really focused too much on my personal stats. I focus one game at a time, and you know, hopefully I get to where I need to get at by the end of the season.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.